So I'm going to introduce to you Virginia Beecham Gray, who is a board-certified music therapist. She currently works as a full-time music therapist at Houston Methodist St. Catherine's Long-Term Acute Care Rehabilitation Hospital. Does that all go on your business card, or do you answer the phone that way? That's a lot. Okay, you are very specific. Okay. She holds a Bachelor's of Music Therapy from University of Incarnate Word in San Antonio and a Bachelor's of Music in Applied Voice from the University of Texas in Austin. She has served as music therapist in numerous hospital inpatient units, private practice, and as a former facilitator for HAPS music therapy programs. Just because she took a full-time job, we lost her as our music therapist, but we're happy to have her back today. So please help me welcome Virginia Beecham Gray.
It is so good to be with you, Kathleen. I feel like I'm back at home. One of the greatest joys that I've had as a music therapist is to be able to work with the Houston Area Parkinson's Society. It's one of the only times I've cried when I was leading a group is when I had to say farewell. But look, we get to meet again. So thank you so much. And what a wonderful job from Gigi and Stan. I really needed that. I had technical difficulties last night. I was catastrophizing. My wonderful husband helped me, or I wouldn't be here to get it done. So I want to share with you a little bit about wellness and how, from a music therapy perspective, but how you can apply that in your life using music. So what is music therapy? I have to explain that just a wee bit, but very short. Music therapy is the clinical and evidence-based use of music interventions to accomplish individual goals within a therapeutic relationship by a credentialed professional who completed accredited music therapy program. Big mouthful again. So basically, the important things I put in red: evidence-based, individualized goals, therapeutic relations by a credentialed professional. But I think Led Zeppelin says it better than I. So let me see if I can get him to play for us. Okay, get ready, get your rock on. We're letting go of the Zen, but the Zen is still there.
Mama said the way you move, gonna make you sweat, gonna make you groove.
You ready? Can you hear? Child, when you shake that thing, gonna make you burn, gonna make you sting. So, music moves you, right? Yeah. I'm sorry if you don't like Led Zeppelin. I'll try to have different styles of music. But you want to use music with a steady, strong beat to get you to move. And so there's been research. I'm going to try to speak to research a little bit today just so that you know why to use it. And we'll talk a good bit about that. But you want music that has a good, steady, strong beat to help organize the movement. Something that's very syncopated, like that's how you kind of feel when you're having tremors, right? If there's just too much. There's like you're already shaking. You're like, I don't need music to add that to it. You want something with a nice, steady beat. So help me think of something, a song that might move you. Anybody? Just yell it out. Your time for participation. Okay, sing it for me. Is that Coming to America? Is that it? No? No one else sang it? Coming to America today. So something that you could walk to. So if you were singing that, maybe that's your go-to song. But you want to practice it. Practice is what's going to get those grooves going in the brain so that you know how to do it when you need it. So, and they did such a great job in talking about using meditation and things to calm the central nervous system, to help to relax the tremors, which I have right now. I don't know why, but I just do. And the muscle rigidity. So if you can calm the body, you can also use music to do that. And then it can help you to move. So another thing besides movement, we're going to do, you want to talk about speech.
Take out the papers and the trash, or you don't get no
back. There you go. So you got a yakety yak, don't talk back. So there's also research that shows that music can work with articulation and speech, affect, respiration, and I think I'll get to this a little bit later, but there's been strong research that shows if you sing for 10 minutes a day, which sounds crazy, because who sings, right, besides music people? But they do all over the world. Just in the West, we watch Idol, and we think it's only the performers that sing. I say, no, don't think that way. If there's anything you can do to sing along, music that is familiar, music that brings emotion and memory to you, then that's going to help you to sing along. It's also going to help your brain. And we'll talk about that in just a bit. Let's see. So it helps with speech, mood regulation, and community engagement. Like right now, we just sang together. Something happened in your brain. We weren't just by ourselves anymore. We're singing together. And I really don't want to talk about neuroscience and music therapy research because that's kind of boring. I think it's more interesting to talk about sex, drugs, and rock and roll. So certain types of music, as we talked about earlier, I said certain types, those things that are familiar and that drive emotion, those produce dopamine and serotonin in your brain. There's been fMRI studies where they check the brain, and what happens when you're listening to familiar music, it releases the same types of chemicals in your brain that you do when you have sex or when you eat or when you do other things you really like to do. And as we know, not just with people with Parkinson's, but lots of different things, just life in general, sometimes we're short on those chemicals, right? So you want to have those. Another thing music can do is it can release oxytocin. I always want to say the opiate drug. It's not the opiate drug. It's a natural drug in your brain when you have that positive relationship, because it also helps to increase blood flow in the brain. So you're going to get more connections. So and those chemicals are free. So, when you think about oxytocin, I think that's where I need my notes. My husband should help with this. But I think oxytocin is what is it, honey? The feel-good? It's the feel-good hormone. It's also, I think it helps with, it's kind of like a natural opiate. But all those different things, some of them help you to feel connected with others. Some people call some of those chemicals the hug and kiss or the love hormone. Maybe that's the reason I fell in love so much with my groups with the Parkinson's societies, because we were doing music together and I had all those hormones going on in my brain and I felt like I was in love with everybody. So those are very positive things, and it's important for us to release endorphins in our bodies, in our minds, so that we can have quality of life, so that we can enjoy life and find things from a positive standpoint. Same thing happens with meditation and yoga. There's science that helps the body release what we've already been created to do, to help us in wellness. So we can use music. So music can help you move. We talked about that. It can help you when you're moving too much, or when you're not moving enough, when you're having trouble. So when I usually start a group, Stan talked about there's apps on the phone, and I love Mindspace. Is it Mindspace? Isn't that right, Stan? Headspace. I just downloaded it. It's a great app for meditation. I highly recommend finding that on your phone. But there's also metronome apps. A metronome is something that keeps a steady beat. And let me say, I'm in my mid-50s. Technology is like my nemesis. But if you have grandkids or you have kids, they get it. And also, remember we were talking about that whole community aspect of music? Get your family involved. If you don't know how to do it, ask them, because they don't know what to do with us. We're old, It's like they don't know how to relate with us. We say, I need you to help me with an app. All of a sudden, granddad is cool. But you can carry those things. Most of us have smartphones. So when I am leading a group, a movement group, oftentimes I have my metronome going while I'm talking. The reason is that research has shown that if you have the beat playing before you begin the movement, the brain is primed for the movement. So see if I picked my right beat for this. Can y'all help me snap or clap? Keep it going. Okay, I'm going to move. Thank you. Okay, now see if you can get your feet going. We'll work the lower body right now. Sorry, there's no mic. So one of the things that people use to move is an old song called "Oh, in the Saints." You got it? Go marching in. Oh, in the saints go marching in. Like you mean it. Lord, I want to be in that number when the saints go marching in. So that's one song that a person with Parkinson's uses when they get stuck. So they're there trying to move and they're like, oh, in the saints. And you can begin to hear it. Do you hear the beat? Go marching in. Next thing you know, the brain is talking to your motor system, and maybe you can start going. Saints, go marching in. Lord, I want to be in that number when the saints go marching in. And stop. So, but we have to use it. And I don't want you to be afraid. Because, I get nervous because I studied all this. So my head's like, there's too much. Really, it's stuff you know. Play to your strengths. Find the music you love and use it. Use it to move, use it to relax, and use it to enjoy life and to connect with others. Okay, can't be there. Now, we already started. Already mentioned singing. Just a big breath. Again. Now with a closed mouth. Now with a really big mouth. Very nice. So we're just going to warm up, sit up nice and tall. The singing, I want you to sing with me. Say, ma, me, me, mo, moo. Your turn, big breath. Ma, me, me, mo, moo. And stop. Now, if you were working with a music therapist, they might identify specific things you want to do with your face. But you can do that too, right? One of the things that happens, sometimes we get that mask. We don't use our faces quite as much. So don't be afraid to look ridiculous like I am now. So I want you, when we do the ma, me, me, mo, moo, I really want you to move your face. Again, it's getting that motor movement, which is going to connect actually with the voice and other things. So here we go. It's nice and low. Everybody ready? Inhale and sing with me. Ma, me, me, mo, moo. That sounds great. Ready? One more time, even more animated. Ma, me, me, mo, moo. Very nice. Now this time, I want you to do it like you're making, I don't know, maybe you're a dancer, maybe you're an opera singer, maybe you're looking really fierce. Let's try it. Ma, me, me, mo, moo. Very nice. One last one. Maybe your face is, maybe you're sad this time. Ready and sing it. Ma, me, me, mo, moo. Now, of course, you don't have to do all that. But think about if you're playing with your grandkids, that would be natural. You just make faces with them, and you can sing with them. So it doesn't have to be rocket science. I can't even explain the science. I just know that it works. I read and read about it, but so I know it works. And we have those tools at our fingertips. So thank you for singing. We're going to do a little more of that. I'm not going to get your 10 minutes that I have prescribed for you in today, but I want you to start finding ways maybe you can use your voice in music and singing. So another way for communicating, for improving, we talked about connections, also cognitive strength. So the song, my Bonnie lies over the ocean, you know that? My Bonnie lies over the sea. My Bonnie lies over the ocean. So bring back my Bonnie to me. And stop. Now, this is the cognitive part. So everybody get where you're not going to hit anyone. We're going to move. We're going to work the upper body now. We marched before. So when we sing a B word, we're going to go up. So, my Bonnie lies over the ocean. Don't move it again until you hear another B word. My Bonnie lies over the sea. Both hands. My Bonnie lies over the ocean. So bring back my Bonnie to me. Focus. Bring back, oh, bring back my Bonnie to me, to me. Bring back, oh, bring back my Bonnie to me. Oh, we're supposed to end up with our hands down. We did it. So, you see, in something like that, like a game, we forget. We were created to play. And I work with people with, and we are not people, our disease or whatever our diagnosis is not who we are. That's just a set of symptoms. Who we are doesn't change. So continue to play. And that helps our brains. That's how children develop. It doesn't stop just because we have gray hair or because we have a diagnosis. And that's one of the other I think it's a powerful thing about music and wellness, is that music reminds us of our humanity. Reminds us of the story of our lives. Each of us have a soundtrack to our lives, right? And it's unique to each of you. If I was working with you, I'd find that out, what your soundtrack was. Because some days your favorite song is Led Zeppelin, Black Dog. Someday it's O Mio Bambino, which is an opera song, an aria. And maybe it's that those songs switch throughout that same day, because we're not the same person from moment to moment. So the music we use will be different. So I invite you, I encourage you to try it, to keep using play, music, and movement. Meditation and yoga, I love it. I actually am a yoga teacher and I teach meditation, so I'm a big fan, and they did a fabulous job. Great training. Okay, so highlights, what to do. Ask your family and friends for help. Our board-certified music therapists. I'm going to give you some resources in a moment. HAPS already has music therapy groups. Use music that moves you. So explore with this, play with this, make it a project. Invite people to help you do it. Maybe you have a support group and say, hey, what music do you use when you're really angry? How do you calm yourself down? When you need to focus, what do you listen to? Start playing around with it. Technology is so cool and easy to use. Well, for some people it's easy. For me, it's a little hard. Use a metronome app. We talked about that. They're free, and you can just get that clicking. I recommend to start at about what your normal pace is, which depending on, sometimes if you have a faster, you want to slow down. So start about where you are, maybe slow it down a little. But there again, that's where a music therapist could help you if you'd like some consultation on that. But use your strength. We've got it going on. Stan talked about resilience. If you were not resilient people, you would not be here today. And so I applaud you for that. Pick a song with a strong beat that will get you going. For instance, When the Saints Go Marching In, or America. There you go. Someone's got their metronome. Now look, what's one that's playing? There's one that you don't want it to be like, you want to keep it nice and steady. Not a, well, you might, but you want to make sure that it has that driving beat. Like that one's a little bit, it's going to be better for dancing. But when you think about the way our bodies move, naturally we move a nice steady beat when we walk, when we swing, when we blink. When we've had an injury, it becomes not even because the brain is having trouble communicating that even, steady beat. So use the music to help the brain remind the body how to move. And use music daily. I put daily. This is for me too. I forget. I get involved in my work. If I remember to meditate, if I remember to do my meditation, if I remember to do a little bit of exercise, play some music. I remember to do that usually because it's my job. I feel better. It's amazing. It's amazing. But it takes practice to make those habits, and we're worth it. And so sing 3 songs a day. Let's think of a child song. I'm about to wrap up here. A children's song. Anybody? Row, row, row your boat. Okay, you know the words to that. Let's pretend you don't, okay? Ready? We're going to sing row, row, row your boat, but we're going to sing it on ah. Ready and sing ah, 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 ah. So you don't have to know the words. If you know the melody, you can just do ah. It's working the throat muscles, the swallowing muscles. It's working a lot of breath. I love yawning. I always recommend for my clients to yawn, but that's good. Good also. And now, I did put on here patting your hand when you try to speak. I probably shouldn't have put that up there, but you can use it. There's a technique music therapists use called melodic intonation training. Speech therapists use it as well, but part of it is you prime the motor by patting. Everybody can pat with me. So, I love you. I love you, I love you, I need you, I need a glass of water, I need a glass of water. So you kind of get the idea. If you're stuck, sometimes if you can get that hand patting, you can maybe get the mouth moving as well. That's a technique that music therapists will teach their clients. And please go to the HAPS wonderful music therapy groups. It's I'm not going to apologize. I am really promoting that because I do believe it can help. And it takes a lot of work to find out what really works for you. Just because you have the same diagnosis as the person sitting next to you doesn't mean it's exactly the same. We're all very unique creatures. And that's something to be celebrated. So here are some of the resources that I was suggesting, and they're on your handout. First and foremost, HAPS has great resources. The Harrison Center for Music Therapy is, they have centers all around Houston, and they may have some groups that would be appropriate. But I also know some of the people that work there and the owner, and they're really great of just being a resource to help people. So give them a call, check them out online, it won't hurt. The American Music Therapy Association has research and different things that you can check out and find out more about how to use music. They can direct you to that research if you really want to read it too, or you want to find out more, or if you're looking for a therapist. And then the Music Therapy Center of Houston is just a resource that talks about music therapy here. Okay, this is one of the songs that I like to do when I'm leading a group. Part of the reason is, it's kind of a good wrap up for what we've been doing. It has a nice steady beat. So we're going to be getting up from here in a little bit and walking out, right? It also, I'm going to go ahead just a little bit. The last verse, I don't know how to get that thing off. There we go. This last verse, a neurologic group, wrote these last lyrics. And I thought to me, it's moving. Maybe I'm just sappy, but I think it's moving. But I'd like for us to sing this together. It's part of my prescription for you to swallow 10 minutes of singing today. Pretty easy. You don't even have to take water with it. Water's good if you want to. You don't have to eat beforehand. So, here's a little song I wrote. Might want to sing it note for note. Don't worry. Be happy. Now, don't be afraid to smile. In every life, we have some trouble. Let me see it. If we worry, we make it double. Don't worry. Be happy. Oh, okay. Keep going. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Don't worry. Ooh. Be happy. Don't be afraid to move. Ooh. Don't worry. Be happy. One more time. Big ooh. Ooh, 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 ooh. Don't worry. Ooh. Softly. Be happy. Ooh. Don't worry. Be happy. Now, I want to work on this a little bit. I'm going to sing a line, and I want you to sing it. I'm learning to live again.
I'm learning to live again.
Sometimes it's hard, but I have good friends.
Sometimes it's hard, but I have good friends.
All together. Don't worry. Be happy. My turn again. I'm taking life day by day. Your turn.
I'm taking life day by day.
I'm growing so much in every way.
I'm growing so much in every way.
Don't worry. Be happy. Okay, let's do that verse together. Here we go. Everyone, now we're warmed up. But I want you to really focus on saying the words clearly. They don't have to be loud, but just nice and clear. Because singing also has proven to make you more articulate and understandable in conversation, which is important for human connection, right? So here we go. Ready? And sing. I'm learning to live again. Sometimes it's hard, but I have good friends. Don't worry. Nice. Be happy. I like this extended sound. I'm taking life day by day. I'm growing so much in every way. Don't worry. Be happy. Now the ooh, you should know this part. Nice and clear. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Don't worry. Ooh, let me hear you. Ooh, don't worry, be happy now. Again. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Don't worry.
Ooh,
Be happy.
ooh. Worry, be happy. Thank you very much. It's always a joy and a pleasure. If I can be of any help, please feel free to contact me. I may be a little bit slow to get back with you, but I will get back with you. And I hope that this was of help. Thank you.